longtime Browns beat reporter Tony Grossi on if Deshaun Watson could benefit from the coaching change.
You know, this coaching staff didn't suffer through the Deshaun Watson 19 games that we did, right? They remember one game, and that was the game he won in Baltimore in the second half, completing every pass he attempted. And they have an image of Deshaun when he was good with Houston. So I think Deshaun will benefit from this coaching change.
So are people expecting, it seems like the narrative nationally is that Deshaun Watson has a legitimate chance to be QB1. Locally, not quite as excited about that prospect.
He's so far away from even being considered for QB1 right now. Like, if we're just being honest about where he is physically, right? He has to first demonstrate that physically he's capable of playing football at a high level. We're talking about a guy who, before he even came to Cleveland, 2 ACL tears to his name, a bunch of bone breaks in his body, gets traded to Cleveland after a 700-day layoff, and then destroys his throwing shoulder twice in one season, one so bad that it took him out for the rest of the year, and then came back the next year, looked significantly reduced physically, and then tore his Achilles twice. And Dave, you know, if he plays week 1 by some miracle, you know how many days would have been between starts for Deshaun Watson?
How many?
691. He hasn't recovered from the first 700-day layoff. He will have another 700-day layoff to come back from. I think we got to be honest about the hurdle he has to overcome to even become the backup quarterback, and that's just physically. We haven't even addressed how much he looks like he's fallen off mentally in his ability to play the quarterback position with confidence, and being out another 700 days is not going to do that for him, right? You could make the argument that being out for 700 days for a quarterback is the equivalent of tearing your Achilles twice. So, like, think about that, right? Like, think about what he's having to recover from. I'm sure that they have a hope for what they hope Deshaun Watson will look like, but more than likely, reality's going to set in very quickly with where Deshaun Watson's at, because you just got to be realistic about physically what his body's been through, what his mind has been through, and what the combination of all of that has produced on the field over the last couple of years. I don't think just because the coach changes, we're going to see a drastically different version of Deshaun Watson, especially when the last time we saw him before the double Achilles tear, he looked significantly reduced physically, and now you're adding 2 Achilles tears on top of a 700-day layoff. You know, just realistically speaking, that sounds like emergency third-string quarterback to me.